All right, it looks like a good bit of you guys want information for technology for student activities, some of you for teacher productivity, and some of you just to add beauty to your life. That's why I'm here, to add beauty to your life. Okay. So I'm going to present my screen. Ignore my calendar. It's a hot mess. Alrighty, Roo. All right, in the Discovery bookmarks, which if you're signed into Chrome on your browser, you can get to, we have all of these different Edtech resources. So the Edtech Resources page is primarily for you guys. The kids can't see it. It's only for you guys. Then we have K-4 student web, 5-8 student web, 9-12 student web, and Courtney has curated those and keeps up with those way more than I do. So in the Edtech Resources page, this is a website where I kind of put all the things. So all the platforms, how to, and support. And then this gets you to the Discovery Online webpage. If you want to check if a YouTube link is blocked, she has that here. And then information about Google Drive, Gmail, Google Digital Citizenship. Things that are interesting, the help desk ticket system. Then the splash pages are here again she made splash pages. Courtney made splash pages for the teachers here. And then there's different ones for DJOD in Maine. And then information on how to get to MyLexia and other online tips. And then all of the EdTech office hours we did on September's PD are here for you, and we'll do the same kind of thing. And then there's information down here for you.
Christy.
Yo.
Can you tell me what to do to pin you to my screen so I can see your presentation? I've hit every button I can find, and I'm still not getting your presentation without everybody else in it.
Okay, so when you click on the little people icon up there by the chat and find not the one with my face, but the other one, and click the little pin next to it. Okay. I'm here for all the tips and tricks. All right, so all the platforms are here and how to support. I'm not going to go through every single last one of these. I have tons of videos for them. I'm going to kind of catch back up on these after I go through some interesting websites that you may not have seen, because these are kind of ones that we always have and we kind of always do little bits, tips and tricks. But what I want you to do is type in the chat if there's something that you specifically want me to make sure that I go to or go over or go through on any of the platforms that we Amy Gilberti can't see my screen either. I can't hear you.
I'm still not able to.
Christy, you had there were like 9 or 10 of us in the other group. I don't know, like we clicked this link and it brought us to like a whole nother Google Meet.
This is fun for me. Okay, hang on. Let me go there. What I had to do is yeah, you can't see me, because I don't have my screen turned around. I had to change the meeting link because I wasn't the owner anymore, because I was still using my nicknames instead of being an adult and sending you guys other ones. So let me just make sure nobody's in the other one. I don't even know what is happening right now. How did I create 2 links? Well, if you want to know what's going to happen when you screw things up, this is it. Yeah, I'm like in...
Miss Aymami, I was in the other one, and we could hear you in the other one, and I left it, and tried to get in again and came to this one. So those of you in the other one, if you can hear me, leave it and come in again.
All right,
and
go to that
it'll
one.
link.
I'm just closing down this one. I don't even know how this one exists, which is what I was in before, but then it switched over because Carol and I were definitely together at the beginning.
This is but a small taste in our daily life.
For sure, Scott.
When I talked about cloning myself, that was not it.
Yay, we made it.
Oh my God.
Mary
Good thing I hadn't gotten very far.
walk to the light.
So, such an amazingly interesting thing. Within 2 minutes of time, my link duplicated itself because I closed down the other one. I'll figure this out later. Okay. So, all right, back to the chat. Things you want to see. Sorry, Scott. I don't know what happened. Thanks for pointing it out, though. All right, I'm going to stop presenting and figure out what is happening to people. Let's just start over. How about now?
It's good now. It's not
All
that.
right. So evidently, the weirdest thing ever, the screen that y'all were seeing was from the other meet. Not even sure how that's happening, but
Doesn't surprise us a bit, Christy.
like I said, I wanted to clone myself, but this is not the way I wanted to do it. Not for PD. I could use somebody at home cleaning my house right now. Okay. So from the different platforms, type in the chat if there's any that you want to make sure that I hit on at least today. And I'm going to go quick through some other cool things that I've kind of been curating since August. Some I've tried, some I haven't. I think I have mostly free stuff. And then some of it may be freemium. But hey, maybe some people want to pay for some stuff. Okay. Yeah, you can get credit for cleaning, Jen. That's great. Oh, okay. All right, so I am going to share this with y'all. Oh, this is my Wakelet. And I'm also going to post it on the website. Yeah, I'm going to go over Jamboard. It's not listed there. I'm definitely doing Jamboard. Okay. Which will be interesting because I think there's too many of us on here to play really good, but first come, first serve. All right, so these are just things that I've been adding kind of since this all started. Some of it's because I tutor and I need to do stuff. And then I started teaching again. So that's been interesting. So I found some really cool stuff, and I've ruined and messed up more lessons this week than not. And today I was asking my kids, you know, what kind of technology tools do you like that the teachers use? You know, what do you not like? And Grace is like, definitely not Nearpod. I was like, great, because I definitely gave my async kids a Nearpod today. So, you know, Grace has to be extra special. So I was like, okay, well, I mean, I think my Nearpod is really good. And, you know, she said, she's just Grace. Alex likes Nearpod. So there's that. Okay, so where am I going to start? Let's just go to the beginning. And for those of you who were in the other one, I was definitely saying that I'm doing this very ADHD style. And then I need to open up my computer so I can write. So if you don't have a pen yet for your Surface, you definitely need one. We have some. Put in a ticket and we'll get it to you. It's one of my favoriteest things ever, like. And of course, I have 2 screen setups in here. But when I'm in the classroom, I don't even have a monitor. So I just have the one, which isn't a whole big deal. But maybe for some, it's a deal breaker. No, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, so the first one I'm going to go over, these are kind of some math ones because I've been tutoring math. Okay, so Geogebra is my favorite. If you're a geometry teacher, or and hopefully the errors kill me. If it does, we'll just. So the reason why I like this is because I can draw different things and then grab images that I've drawn pretty much to put directly onto my like on Jamboard or any that you have. So we're going to go to geometry and trying to teach translations. You can actually draw the original, show the point of rotation or translation, and then take the grid with you, put it in draw, and not being friendly. Okay, so Spencer Newton and I played with this the other day. Let's see. So it allows you to draw shapes, and it's going really slow, so I'm about to pass it up. It doesn't normally run this slow, but okay, we're gonna show our grid, and we're going to do just major grid lines, and then I also want to show my axes. So here, my grid. So then you can just draw your polygon with your mouse or your pen here, and then I'm going to draw my point, and it also lets you so you could just export this and tell them you want a 90-degree rotation, and they could then draw it on here. It also has a circle with the center, which they also use on a lot of the math apps. It lets you export this as a picture. So you just go to share, export as a picture, and it actually opens up in the photo app on the Surface, and you could actually just draw right on top of it. And you can all do the same thing. I'm in geometry. You can do the same thing for algebra 2. You can draw whatever you're drawing and then have the kids, if you're going to do any kind of transformations, or have them draw it and use those. So that's Geogebra. Inside math. And these just happen to be math. Move on quickly. We're not math people. I feel like the internet gods are punishing for something.
Christy, I think you're muted.
When you get kicked out of your own meet and they mute you. Okay, so this particular website I use for basically little mini snippets of videos. If you want to give the kids, yeah, I think it's because I'm mirroring my screen, but it's not letting me change it. So whatever. It got mad at me and muted me. I guess it didn't like what I was saying. Okay, so here they have these public lessons. They have their videos, so you can use this to supplement what you're teaching. So let's say you're teaching Pythagorean theorem. I don't know why I'm obsessed with geometry right now, but let's roll with it. Then it has all of these video clips that you can just put up on of people teaching that's not you. Okay. And then Desmos, which we have, and a lot of you math teachers have already used it. We have Desmos, and we also have Desmos that works in On-Course Classroom. And
You're not get you some. We can't see your screen, or at least I can't.
Oh, jeez. Cannot see my screen. How about now?
No.
Great.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So for Desmos, you can use it in On-Course Classroom. And it's kind of the same. I kind of like the Geogebra one better than the Desmos one, but I've learned to like Desmos because it's an On-Course. But you can also take snippets of a lot of the stuff in Desmos, and you can post it in On-Course, and you can use the Draw It tool and have the kids draw over it. I know Mr. Stahl did that with one of his kids for an assessment. He had them draw on a number line for inequalities. So there's that. This one. If you the proofs, as we just sit here and wait for it to load. Maybe I should have stayed home. Maybe screaming Grace in the background would have been better than this. This is like a rave of technology. That's what's happening here. I've completely lost control over my desktop. So I hope you're enjoying the flashy. I hope nobody has like, I can't with this, y'all, today. Okay, so yeah, I'm hoping nobody has epilepsy, sorry. All right, so from here, you can actually create a geometry design and have it test students on the ability to do proofs. I like to recommend that to students who are having difficulty with the proofs, and you can set up, and it's free for teachers. So there's that. And that covers like 2% of my people. All right, this is one of my favorite websites. This is Rewordify. So what this does is it helps your students who are 504 or SPED or who read at a different level. It takes text that you're using and it will rewordify it to simplify it for the students. So if I go to any Wikipedia, and we'll go to Severus Snape Wikipedia today. All right, so you can take any text that you have, and this could be like from a history text or an article that you found that you really want to use with your kids, and you just click Rewordify Text, and it's going to take the text and it's going to rewordify it. And then they're highlighted here, so you can actually change and see what, if you hover over it, you can see what it was before. So like insulting, zoom in. So if you hover over it, insulting before was sarcastic. And then from here, it's telling you, let's see, there are 24 hard words, and it actually helps them learn the difference. So you can actually give them the easy version, then hand them the higher level one, and they can look and see, okay, in the easier one, it was very, but in the harder one, it was exceptionally, and let them know that those are synonyms for each other through there. And then it lets you print, and then you can focus on parts of speech, and it'll highlight them in certain colors. And then go back, and there's other learning activities. You can give them a vocabulary list, word bank matching, a close activity. You can just export it to text. You can remove the original. So this is one of my favorite ones, and I've used this like for years, and it's kind of like basic, but it hasn't had to be improved. So I like it. So that's Rewordify.
Is it free?
It's free. And literally the page that I went to is the page that it comes to for students and everything. So it comes to here. So they can copy and paste something from anywhere. Now, obviously, I'm sure you don't want them to do that on their ELA. So make sure they're not using that. Yes, Rewordify. Oh yeah, I can give you the I can put these in the chat too. I guess I can do that. Yeah, it literally is just Rewordify. Okay, so that's Rewordify. We'll keep Snape up. Okay. FET. All right, so if you've been using Nearpod, we have the paid version of Nearpod. So I'm turning off my camera. I know y'all really are excited to see me and all, but I think it's lagging on my end. So I'm going to turn off my camera. Okay. So FET simulations, there are some, and I think you can search through, and I haven't gotten an answer back from Nearpod if every FET simulation is available on Nearpod to embed, because there's sometimes you don't want to do it through an embedded Nearpod, especially since sometimes the network isn't working. But I find these to be really great. So I did one recently in biology. You just go by, and you can just literally, where's the one I did? We did, nope. This one, gene expression and essentials, and literally it comes up and you just click play and it works on the Chromebooks. You used to be able to download these and run them on Windows devices before Chromebooks became a thing. And basically we're going to look at gene expression, and then the kids can do whatever, most of it's drag and drop. And they're really great mini simulations for the kids to kind of see, especially right now when you can't do labs. I find them super helpful. The ones, the majority of the ones in chemistry and physics are in there. I love the one on acid-base solutions. And to me, there are some controls on there you maybe wouldn't use in elementary and middle school, but some maybe you could use in upper, and just tell them to ignore the bottom parts of it. And basically you're just going to determine what kind of, they can see the difference between these acids and bases. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things in the whole wide world. All right, next is Prep Magic. Now I'm kind of into the science peep stuff. All right, Prep Magic is one of my favorites, and I think I have to log in to get to see the resources. Let's see. This is free. Or not. All right, they have these real world science connections, which is why I like them. Let's see if it'll let me browse without having an account, logged into my account. All right, so they have these different, this must be like a video because it wants me to sign in, which I freaking am trying to do. Ha. All right, so these are all the interactives that you can see if they load. All right, so they have obviously higher order ones and they have little lower ones. You can also search by grade and topic. So we're going to go to middle school and let's do, there's plenty on these. Let's do acids and bases, and we'll do concentration. So they have these ones here. Like obviously these are a little higher order. They have states of matter. So you have solids, gas laws is another one that's going to be super, and they can test Boyle's law, Charles' law, and it'll show them the graphs, which is one of the main things that I like, because one of the things that they have to do is be able to read a graph. So, but they're all like these little simulations and they're all NGSS aligned. Let's see, waves. So wave properties, they can look at different wave properties and adjust. Let's do this one. So this is going to give us an interactive graph. You can zoom it to fit the window. I guess I can do that so y'all can see. And it's got this informational thing, and you read this and then they close it and then the graphs are there. So we're going to increase the frequency, increase the amplitude. I can decrease the amplitude. You know, maybe you have them set it for a certain thing. And this really allows them to do labs when they normally wouldn't. And you can have a timer. You can also add a pop quiz after, or questions after the activity. So those are super, super helpful, but I just use the activities just like this. Yeah. Prep Magic, let me put that in. It's just so hard right now to know, because Julie, I don't know if it may come with printouts. I'll be honest with you. I go backwards. I guess you could create a lesson here. So you could create, like, these are lessons that have them. So maybe this one has one. Let's look. I don't know. Fits window. It doesn't look like it, but what I did is I took a lab that we would normally do in the class last week. It was the lactose enzyme lab, and I found the one for lactase on here and just used my lab sheets that came with the book and just told them which ones to go to and kind of adjusted it that way, like modified it a little that way. So no one came to your party. Here, let me give you the link to my the Wakelet, and you can go faster. Okay. All right. So where was I? Prep Magic. All right, this one. And Prep Magic is free. All right, High Adventure Science. They have these lessons. They tend to last 5 days. So these are great if, like, you have COVID and you need to be, like, you know, out for 5 days of sick, or if you know you're going to be out. These are good things. Or if you're looking for something to supplement, or maybe a kid is at home or doesn't understand. So I have used this one before. It's and I use it actually with my chemistry kids before. Will there be enough fresh water? And they go through, and then there's modules that they have to go through, and then you can assign the modules. There's assessments and interactive. So this water model goes with it. I've also used the one on fracking before with chemistry. But they're kind of like little collections that people smarter than me made. You can also go straight to the interactives. No, I use this, the fracturing I used with 8th grade math. I couldn't get this one to work earlier. I don't know if something's wrong with it, but I emailed them. You're supposed to be able to drill in and then set off explosions and then fill it with propane to see how the explosions are going to happen, which is kind of cool, but I couldn't get it to load. The other one's load. Like, it loads, but it doesn't let me drill. So I told the little guy he's got to fix this thing. Factors affecting air quality was good. So, I mean, anybody teaches air quality. You could do this if you were doing this and simulating. So basically, once it comes up, you can adjust the wind. So we're going to say in New Orleans it's pretty hot. We're going to increase the sunlight. And this is kind of small. Let's make it bigger. Okay. And then you're going to increase the rain, and then you just press play. All right. So you can see the particles, and then it starts your graph. So, we're going to go like from the beginning of time where there's no cars to now like we're living in metropolis. So we have increased car pollution, and then, we're adding some power plants. And they get to see the primary and secondary pollution by graph, and then just pause it whenever you're ready as far as through here. And then they can zoom in to the graph if they need to. Show the key or not, zoom, and they can always take a screenshot of this, or you could take a screenshot of this. And I was like, let me figure out how to close it. So those are pretty cool. Some simulations. Okay. All right, social studies. So, and y'all may have heard of this one before. So this is the Edinburgh Classroom. This is free classroom resources for anybody teaching the Constitution. It is pretty basic enough that it could still be used in elementary, or scaffolded enough to be used as a supplement in middle and high or high school if students are having difficulty in U.S. history, especially prepping for LEAP. So they have a guide to the Constitution. They have games that go along with it, 65 videos that go along with learning about the Constitution, and these interactive timelines, which I find it really hard to find good timeline builder things. Really, really hard time. So this is a timeline here, and they have them for all of these. So let's say we want to go to, well, maybe we shouldn't do that right now, but let's go to some other amendment that's not real big right now. Let's go to the 10th Amendment. All right, so then it'll show you everything. And then they can also click in and learn more. And you can kind of follow this. If you use this as how you structure the your class, but say you're covering early time period, but then you can see, okay, you can kind of bring real world for them on times when these were challenged. So we'll go to this one. And as you go in, you get to learn more information. There's information here. You can go into different topics that this particular thing is about. You can go through games that are around there. And then they give you these amazing recommended documentaries. And then lesson plans for everything. And who is calling me? I'm gonna let that go. Okay. So I'm just gonna click on, let's do this one. I just want to show you what it looks like. And then, so you can download this video for classroom use. All this is free. It's like teachers can use all the things. Okay. So you can download, it tells you, it gives you an overview, and you just press play. I think they're housed, and they also have captions. So it'll help those students there. And then they have lesson plans. And then for those of you that teach in high school or even middle, if you're looking at specific Supreme Court cases, they have like every single solitary one. We were there already. Right to protest. So then you can download the lesson plan, and it gives you all the standards. They're probably national standards, but, and here's the lesson plan. It says 9 to 12, but, and then everything is linked. Play the film, day 2, options, blah. Okay, social studies. This is another social studies one. I would say probably high school, but some of y'all are getting real brave with getting the kids to debate in middle school. So in here is Educator Resources. Okay, and we're just going to go by topic because there's a million. We're going to go into student immigration. Those of you doing the Holocaust, that's down there too. And then they have all of these collections. Teaching current events, global immigration, the Children's Immigration Project, Finding Your Voice, responses to the 1930 refugee crisis, which is good. Then they can kind of compare that's what's going on now. And then they have all the lesson overviews, and all of the additional background information and reading is linked. So if you wanted to go, they give you the image. So you're going to need this and the reading and then the handout. Just open all those. And then they give you this whole anticipation guide, which tells you what they should know and do. And then everything is here. And then they have simulations, but here's your political cartoon. Here is the public opinion data they give you. And then they give them here's your lesson handout. So pretty neat. Also would be good for like in ELA, kind of pulling in a social studies when you're talking about those topics. I don't know why. Let's see what this is. Oh, this is more history stuff. So this is Civic Online Reasoning curriculum, which is for pretty much for civics. I think we've been using that here. But it gives them information on close reading, classroom posters, teaching them kind of this overview. So as you start talking about primary and secondary sources, and the kids have no idea how to use, well, some have some, how to use an image as evidence for social studies writing or even ELA writing. They have no idea how to use images in here. So basically this whole one on evaluating sources, it's going to go through, it'll give them, you have to register, but I'm not logged in. But you download the teacher materials and the student materials and everything's ready to go, and it's all around this particular image. Then they have these assessments beyond the bubble. And they have these little assessments on the first Thanksgiving, slave quarters, connection to the Philippine War, all of those. And then Civic Online Reasoning curriculum is what we're using here. So they have the curriculum. So this is introductory lessons, teaching lateral reading, and then there's some science, civics in the science classroom, which I'm doing with my seniors. on website reliability, and then climate change, and then verifying claims on social media. Some adults should read that, but I'm just saying. So that is the Stanford Civic Online Reasoning. Big history project. Okay, so this, even though it seems like it's history, it's more. So this basically takes through the Big Bang, the stars light up, chemical events, the Earth and the solar system, life on Earth. I use this with my science kids. So and then they have future, and the kids can earn badges or stuff, but I use it for the videos. So you have these here, and it gives you like these little really cool videos and images to use, like this being the first named cell, an actual image of it. I just think it's better than the ones they put in the book, personally. And then like tons of videos and pictures to use. And they have these timeline thingies. Layers of history, more about Earth. So like, this is like science, ELA, social studies all at the same time. Okay, this one. And I'm going to say this. I don't know what happened to this. I was playing with this yesterday. This is Twiddler. I used to use this before. I used to use this before we had like, what you call it? Jamboard. So it's a free whiteboard. And once you invite people to your whiteboard, they have it for themselves. So it's like Jamboard, but different because they can chat on here. So you can actually monitor it. The thing I can have to say is this used to work with my Surface Pen, and I couldn't get it to work with my Surface Pen. Like I can draw on it now, but I couldn't get it to work with my Surface Pen today. But I don't know if maybe my pen was having issues. And you can also save it, like it archives it. But you can enter a web page. You can make it an Etherpad, where an Etherpad is similar to like a Google Doc. They can all edit it at the same time. You can upload documents and images. So that's kind of what you. But I like the part about how it was kind of like a chat, to where you could kind of monitor the kids. To me, I would think of this as I would tell the kids to get on this so that I wouldn't have to be on Google Meets with them if the technology wasn't working right, because I could still monitor the chat or whatever on here. But maybe you don't want chat. I don't know. So that's one I used to use. Here's my favorite timeline maker. Back to, you see how my ADD is just going. This is my favorite timeline maker, and I've used this with students, and it's worked really well. It is kind of clunky, but the kids are better at it than me. I'll say that. It's literally drag and drop making of a timeline. So they have to do this by spreadsheet. So what I generally do is I would set up the dates they needed to know and publish it, and then they would have to fill in the rest of the timeline. They have all these examples. Let's do Nelson Mandela. I'm on a load. We'll check back with you, Nelson Mandela. All right. Then we all know about Kahoot. If you don't know about Kahoot, Kahoot's amazing. This was Grace's favorite when I asked her what she likes. This is what she likes, Kahoot. So now Kahoot has changed so much since I first started using Kahoot, especially since we've been at home since March. I'm not one of those people like the amazing humans here who do Kahoot, who like type out their questions ahead of time. I've never been one of those type out your questions ahead of time kind of people. So I always just do it, the ones that are here. But like they have this thing where you can now add your Bitmoji avatar to it and all that stuff. I actually do have the teacher version of Kahoot.
Air conditioning.
It's fine. Do you need me to open the other doors?
If there's this, is there units up on the ceiling?
In here. I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah,
This is the one that leaked.
Oh, yeah, we definitely want to change that one.
Okay. All right. Sorry, they're fixing the AC. Look it. I'm gonna check that one out. Right. I got one from the audience. Yeah, Junior, I like it. I haven't played with it enough because I'm teaching seniors right now, and they're like, Kahoot, really? I'm not doing Kahoot. Oh, this is cute, where they get to make their own their characters. This is one that Catherine put. I'm gonna add this to the thing after. Okay. Nelson Mandela is still not there. Okay, you can go now. All right, so there's plenty of YouTube videos on Kahoot. Check it out. The kids like it, evidently. All right. My little people, Epic is one of my favorite things, and I came across Epic for I have it open, Catherine. I'm not looking at this because it's still. Oh, here we go. So a book is a little block that loves to play. All right, so you can choose question sets, game modes. You can host and join. You can play to review, and then you get looks like analyzed results. So it's good data stuff. Epic gives you free books for educators and the kids. If you can set up classes, give a class code, and the kids can read for free. So those of you who are parents, sign up as an educator and let your kid read for free. Thousands and millions of books for free. Yeah, Epic is good. If you have it, I don't know if there's any little people who use this with your kids and you want to explain to somebody how it looks on the teacher end. I only got an educator once so Grace could read, and I didn't like make a class or anything, but seems really cool.
I have it, but you can't do multiple grade levels. You have to commit to one grade level.
Huh.
Or at least I did just a week or two ago, and I stumbled upon it.
I have it as well, Christy, and we use it a lot in third grade. The kids pretty much get on it like every day or at least once a week, and it is really helpful. You can even make like collections in Epic. So we just did a severe weather research project, and so I found all these books. They have a lot of nonfiction. I'd say more nonfiction than fiction, but they have a ton. And so I just searched a bunch of books, made a collection, and then I assigned it to the kids, and it just pops up automatically for them, being like, your teacher assigned you this collection of severe weather books. And that makes research a lot easier rather than like making like a set of links or something like that. Yeah, very useful.
Already in use. Evidently, I already have it. I might try signing up under different email addresses for that.
That was my thought. Yeah.
My friend Evelyn. So going into that, this is my all-time one of my favorites. So this is called Book Creator, and I started using this when the kids were all on iPads, and I taught at Rummel, and it allows the students to create books, or you can create books. So what I use this for was I use this for student work and portfolios with high school kids. But you could use this and they can make their own books, essentially. They can make digital portfolio. I use mine for digital portfolios. You can do it for science reports. They can add, and you can see kind of in this picture, they can add photos, they can take pictures. They have a pen tool. You can add text, you can add sound. So the kids can you can keep track if they're, if you have a picture or a prompt and you want them to record sound, and then you can see kind of how they progress over the course of the year. And then you actually do have the ability to export this and send to the parent if desired, if you're building some kind of project. But I like it since it's been web-based. It was really good on the iPad, but since it's been web-based, it's really cool. And kids can just like create their own stuff. They have examples here. They can publish it. They can read each other's books. So you could do this for music if they had to record themselves as they practice different sheet music. You take a picture of, put the title of the piece and have them show it over the course of time. But there's all kinds of ways that they can do information. You could have them do this as a summative where they're kind of explaining a topic that you've gone. They can upload images and kind of make a review book. You can make it as integrated or as simple as you want. There's no minimum or maximum number of pages. It's kind of cool. Quizlet Quizlet, though, now makes me have to look at these pictures that are tiny on the screen to prove that I'm a human.
I think it needs to up its game, Quizlet.
Yeah. So one that's not on here that I prefer actually is Quiziz. I just want to say thank God for Google single sign-on. Couldn't tell you the number of passwords that I couldn't remember prior to now. All right, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. So it's similar to Quizlet, but it's not as flashcardy based. And we're gonna do one biology. Why not? So it's kind of more fun. Okay. Skip. And you can kind of add themes, and it makes slides, and then you can make the slides be multiple choice, checkbox, fill in the blank, polls, open-ended, kind of like a baby Nearpod, but this definitely doesn't take up as much streaming as a Nearpod. And the kids can practice with the slides. You can make it kind of like Flipgrid, no problem. I mean, you can make it like Quizlet if you wanted to, but it doesn't have to. And the kids can use it as a study tool. But they have they can put, YouTube videos. You can add audio clips. I've used Quiziz for lab reports where the kids had to take photos and explain what's happening as far as that goes. So I prefer Quiziz to Quizlet. But Quizlet there's tons of stuff in Quizlet. I still send the kids there if they're looking for practice stuff. 1,000,001 people have uploaded stuff, especially for all the textbooks. All right. This is one that I use with my biology class when I taught. Log in. This is a cartoon comic book kind of maker thingy. Oh, for the love. Evidently, I signed up for this before Google single sign-on. Let's start over. You just need to make sure the kids click student go here. Otherwise, they'll have a teacher account, which happened to a few of my kids. All right, I want you to watch this video. I'm not watching this video. All right, and they can drag stuff. So we want to put a bedroom. I want to have some characters. And they just pick their people. Then they can move the focus. I'm going to back it up. All right, he's walking through, and then you can type your words. They have speech bubble, thought bubble, shout, whisper. It's like super easy. And then change their face. So this is me on a daily looking for my keys. And then this can change their actions. Right now I'm walking, but let's say I wanted to look this way because that's what I normally look like. And then they can, so they have this one. Then they're going to add a panel. This is called, here, I'll put it in chat, Pixton. Yeah, I love this one. So what it does is it copies your original thing before you started making changes. If you notice that, I can just duplicate it, my little friend. So now I'm going to go through, I'm going to keep the background the same, my character, my focus. I'm going to change my focus now to be this. And then I'm going to add words and I'm going to shout. And then I'm going to find, so they have some of these that are locked, which is fine. There's enough of them for me to, not enough sad faces though, but whatever. It's not everybody sad. And then you have different actions here. So I'm just going to leave it, but there's like all these other ones. And they have these paid versions, but they don't have to. Also, if it helps the kids, it has standing, talking, flying, holding, happy, walking. I'm not happy, I lost my keys. So the kids go through, and when you're done, you have this comic. What's happening? I think it's easier than Bitmoji because the kids don't, for Bitmoji, well, I think it's changed now. Now it lets them do it with just an email address. You used to have Snapchat. All right, so then I'm going to have them join with their Google IDs, which is what I would do. And then you can make class photos with, so if all your kids join, you can make a class photo you can put up. I'll make my avatar later. Why am I doing this right now? Oh my God, get me out of here. Can I not get out of here? Oh my God. I'm stuck. Okay. Break you. Just trying to show you what it looked like when I was done. Okay. Oh, well, I don't know why it's not doing this. Great. I don't want to make an avatar. I'll do this later. But anyway, they get a PDF version or a slide version that they can download of their comic and they can upload it to Encore's Classroom or whatever. Picks them. All right, this is Smithsonian Learning Lab. And here they have learning resources. You can create resources, share, and learn. So we're just going to go to create. I don't want to create a collection. We're going to look at somebody else's. All right, so you can browse by image, audio, video, text, or learning resources. So I'm going to browse by learning resource. You can also do it by topic. Learning resources. And I use these to supplement for science. Bazillion and one resources. And it's taking a while to load. You can see the different collections that people have here. Oh. Who's calling me? Okay, this isn't working the way I want to either. All right. Some people use this website already, ClassHook. I'm going to warn you that unless you use the paid version, it does not filter out profanity. So if you're going to use the free version, you're just going to need to make sure that you watch the videos, which you should always do anyway. You should watch the videos before you post them. Okay. What this is it gives you examples of videos as like a class hook, and Arvo uses these in her class. I've noticed that a few times from tutoring her kids. She uses it's video snippets from like real TV shows and movies about relevant topics that you're teaching. IMA. Here, great. I at Kenner Discovery. And great. Somebody's using it because it's registered. Skip. Okay, so if we're going to teach about it gives you different videos and they're little snippets. This one's fun. A lot of these are going to be Inconvenient Truth, which I've done projects on. They have Captain Planet, but you have to listen to them just to make sure. Let's see, Schoolhouse Rock's in here, which is always my favorite. Does anybody use this that's in here? So you basically get this little snippet video, and you can watch it on YouTube. So it lets you bring it to the link for YouTube. Then you can put it in Nearpod or whatever.
Help, CCH? Glad you asked. I just happen to have some visual aids. First of all, RECYCLE recycle, CONSERVE conserve. Don't you?
It's not really like Edpuzzle. It's basically getting you a little clip to kind of get the kids excited about what you're going to be learning, so to speak. And I like Rocko's Modern Life, but that's a little annoying. So if you were, let's say we're learning about verbs. We have all of these. Schoolhouse Rock, verb, that's what's happening, which is one of my favorite videos from Schoolhouse Rock. They have the Big Bang Theory. So this is what I would use, would be Big Bang Theory. And you have like little snippets. And it tells you what's happening. They're discussing time travel, the movie Back to the Future, and the proper tenses of verbs to describe their actions.
The right tense for something that would have happened in the future of a past that was affected by something from the future. Had, will, have, placed. That's my boy.
So it kind of connects the kids to things that they're familiar with watching, although they probably don't watch Big Bang Theory, but I do. I think it's good. And then you can view the clip and you can see standards that are associated with them. And then there's like all kinds of, and I use these for PD for you guys too. So let's see. I must have signed up with my old video. I think I have the unlimited usually. All right, so this is units of measurement from Schitt's Creek. This one's a good one too.
Sell it.
To whom?
To your customers.
I don't have any customers.
Well, then why would you order so much milk?
I didn't. You did.
Baby, why are you yelling at me?
Why am I yelling?
Ugh. You try to do something nice for somebody, you think I would at least deserve a thank you.
Oh, well, thank you, Alexis. Thank you for ordering an insane amount of milk that I will never be able to sell.
You're welcome.
So I would use this if I was doing a measurement unit in math and the importance of being able to go back and forth between measurements so they can understand why it's important to measure things out, because they don't know how important that is. Okay, this one. And this one might be a little more intense than some people are willing to put in. This makes flashcards, quiz shows, random name pickers. This is like one of Alice's favorite ones. It takes a Google spreadsheet. So if you have matching things or vocabulary and the definitions, you can make it into any of these things just by Google spreadsheet. Tournament brackets for my coaches. I use it to make certificates. There's word crossword puzzles, word scrambles, word searches, and basically you just have to, it lets you do it if you want to skip the spreadsheet. Say I want to do a matching game, and it lets them just play random ones if there's time in between. You can just send them one that they have to match. I'm clearly not winning at life. Okay, Flippity. Flipgrid, y'all know about. I'm not going to go there. Okay, this is one I use for plagiarizing. So I know that there's paid ones that you can do. Shouldn't have closed my Snape. So if you want to see if a kid plagiarized, you just have to copy and paste. So if you want to just take a section of what they wrote, copy it, and put it in the, I want to use Google though. Don't bring me to Bing. Oh, whatever. And then you can also check URLs if they've given you URLs to their stuff and you're going to check duplicate content. You can do a not exact search or an exact search, and it'll give you, although it seems to not be working, it'll give you the websites where they have text. That's the same. We'll let this just keep going. All right, this is similar, well, kind of like the other ones, but this one's making a storybook. This one's kind of more elementary. And they have lessons too, if you wanted to. But it lets them just start creating a storybook. They don't have to do anything. So if you're not yet at the level of wanting them to get into like Google, you want the link for the plagiarize thing? Okay. If you just want them to start learning how to use basic tools, just draw text, scene, and items to kind of create their first kind of what I would think slideshow before you get them into Google Slides, this is a really good one. Create your storybook. And then, how many things do I have way behind? These video makers, I don't think they're going to be able to do. This is another one. I'm not going to go into it, but I'm going to put it in the chat because this is really cool. And I used this before, and then I kind of quit using it because it wasn't that good, but now it's better. Basically, what happens is you create a class in here, and you can invite your students in here and do it that way. I've never had it with my own students before, but basically, like if this is my notes and you upload your notes, you can automatically make it into a flashcard activity for the kids or a worksheet. And then randomize questions. And then it lets you choose the assignment length, how many questions. If you want, I want multiple choice matching, fill in the blank, and historical ordering, but I don't want historical ordering. I'm going to click create. And then it's going to make a worksheet for the kids. So, and it's going to give you the key so you know what's happening, and the multiple choice, all from your, and the kids can have them make their own account in here too. If they want to copy and paste their notes in here to let them. So I thought that was kind of cool, but you can publish the quiz and they can do it without having to sign up or anything. I mean, it just means you wouldn't be able to, if you sign them up, you could keep track of it, but if you just want them to have somewhere to review, it's one that I like. Okay. Blogging and maker, Toontastic. All right, for my little people, I like Toontastic, and now it works with Google, and the kids can make cartoon videos as they go through, and they can make their own characters. They have soundtracks that the kids can do, and they kind of make their own cartoon. Kind of similar to, it works for sure on the iPads. It works for the new Chromebooks. Some of the high school kids, it may not work for because they have older Chromebooks. And then this is one that I like to use. I kind of use this just for PD. All right, this makes like a little simple slideshow explainer. And they have like little things they can do if they're just going to be making a little video. And it's free. Wevideo is my favorite, one of my favorites in the whole wide world. If you're gonna make videos or have the kids make videos, Wevideo is it. It's got the easiest tools for the kids to use. But it is freemium. Like you can make so many videos from there.
Will those videos go into Nearpod?
Yes, because they'll download as a regular video. Okay. This is primarily for my visually impaired students, or auditory impaired, or people who need transcript of videos. If you like to read instead of watch the videos, my friend Evelyn, you could take somebody's video and enter the link and then click read it, and it'll give you a transcription of the video. Vid reader. Or if sometimes you don't really want the kids to watch the video, but the content is good and you would have to like replicate it, you can copy and paste their content and put it in your thing. All right, so now I'm at 2 whiteboards and like 3 minutes of time. And then I never got to Jamboard, which I'm going to get there. Okay. Whiteboard Chat is the same thing as Whiteboard Fi, except Whiteboard Chat lets the kids chat. Similar to the other one, it's kind of better than the first one I did. Whiteboard Fi, I've used it before. It lets the kids do things, especially from their phone, and you can like have co-teachers, and it has all these kind of things. It's a little better than Jamboard, but my only issue with this is with the free version, you don't get much. So my go-to whiteboard is Jamboard, and let me just start one in here. So you can start one directly from Google Meets now, or you can upload one you already have. And I use Whiteboard. I have a Jamboard for every period that I teach for every unit. So it lets us like be our brainstorming, like where I used to write stuff on the board if people ask you questions, that sort of thing. And you can have them view it or edit it. Like if you want to go through and make like a PowerPoint on it, great, better power to you. But back to the don't have my life planned out. So basically it opens and it'll give you the original link that you had for your kids. And then it pops up in the chat, I think, and you can click on it and they can draw, add text. You can add images directly in here. So I do this all the time when I'm teaching. And I just do a Google image search. So we're learning about the lung. Probably didn't need to type the. And I want to put this up there for the kids. Oops, this. And then I want them to label the parts. And then they can just start adding text. Each kid can have their own Jamboard if you really wanted to get that intense. You can create matching activities ahead of time and have the kids slide the stuff over. You can have them add sticky notes, questions they still have. Why is one side more than the other? And save. So I like using Jamboard. You can add text immediately and they can, so I do this in biology and have them just label the parts because then they have these fancy shapes that you can just like super add. And they can just like kind of go through and label them. And then the kids can take screenshots if they want, or they have this all the time. I will say this with Jamboard, anybody can erase and delete and add if you give them editing privileges. So kids can go in and delete other people's stuff. So if you're not comfortable with that, that's going to be an issue. So I'll show you one Jamboard I did with my group, and then I will let you go. And I'm sorry about the technology issues because that's been my day. This is one that I did with, let's go with first period. So this is the unit we're in now. How can science help make our lives better? And questions they have. We're learning about Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. So these are all their questions, personal experience they have, our model we created, just like I just did, any questions they still have. And then as we add more models and pictures, so this was a difference between normal muscle tissue and Duchenne's muscular dystrophy muscle tissue, and then vocabulary that they need to know I added on here. And then what do we know so far? So it kind of keeps them going back. And then this was, will physical therapy help them? Pros to physical therapy and cons. And this is all the kids. This is not me. So, and they have this as their resource in class and to use all the time and go back and add to. And then I think my time is up. I don't want to take you guys away from your other sessions. If you have any questions or I didn't get to what you want me to get to, let me know, and I can, or if you need more information, and then I'm going to put a link to my Wakelet in the chat so that you can look. I hope I did a little bit of everything for everybody. It's kind of hard when we're K-12 and everybody's teaching different things, throw in some co-curricular and all. And that is that. So if you have any questions, email me. You are welcome, guys. I tried to make it a little different than going through the same thing that we always do every time with the same resources we have, because we have videos on those. I wanted to give you some of my best treats.
Hey, Christine, this is Sue.
Hey.
Hey, my internet was having issues at the very beginning, and I sort of came in at the tail end of your proofs on the Desmos thing.
Yeah.
Is that the teacher.desmos.com version?
The proofs one is a different website. Hold on. It's this one. It is Can Figure It Geometry Proof Simplified. So
okay. Yeah, I did a webinar on that thing. I wasn't too impressed with that though, but I'll look at it.
The only thing I have to say is it gets the kids thinking, but it's not something I would assign to them. I think it would just be something if a kid needs additional practice. Geogebra, I kind of created my own using the Geogebra one. Where is that? And they added more stuff to this recently. So like you have all of this.
Do you do the applets with Geogebra, or are you creating your own stuff?
I was literally creating my own images and then putting them into Google Slides and annotating over them and adding the proof questions and then putting those in the Nearpod and having them answer as open-ended questions with the pictures. That's what I was doing for
okay,
them.
maybe I'll sign up for an office hour with that, because that sounds cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I was doing it with Spencer Newton, even though I got to a point where it was like 9 o'clock at night and I was like, I just did the whole problem wrong, just pretend that didn't exist. So
Delta Math has a lot of visuals for the geometry transformations as well.
Yeah, we went through all of the ones that you assigned him plus additional ones.
Good. So you're tutoring him. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, a couple times this week just to catch him up to where you are.
Okay, good. Yeah, he's missing a few tests. I've emailed, but I'll try to nag him too.
Yeah, Mom said she's aware of that. She wants me to kind of go over it with him before he takes it. So I think we're planning to meet. So hopefully he'll get it knocked out next week.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
Thanks for all your help. Bye.
No problem. Bye.
Christy.
Yes.
Okay, this is a question that I don't know if you can answer, because I'm struggling with, I gave an on-course test and I forgot to check the box that said give them partial credit. And it was a question where they had to choose all that were correct. And I'm looking at it and I'm not sure if, I don't want to give kids points if they didn't give the part, if they didn't give some of it partially correct. Like, it's marking wrong what they put wrong, but it's showing the check. I don't know if what's in green is what they chose also, like they chose some of the right ones, but one of the wrong ones.
Okay. Yeah, what's the assessment? And I'll go look at it.
Okay, the assessment is a test from 12-14, a test intro to functions on course.
Okay. I'll look at it and see, but if it needs to be changed, you can change it, and then you have to go back and click go back to the list of all the students and then just click recalculate or something, and then it should adjust it if it's wrong. Once you do that, it'll let you do that.
Okay, so I mean, I can go back and do that, and that would just solve everything. So yeah. I have to go into the assessment.
Go into the assessment and then change the point value to for partial credit. And then you go back to the list of students where the assignment is. And then it's one of the actions at the top, like recalculate, re-auto calculate, or something like that.
Okay. And so that has to be in the assessment tab, not in the individual class tab.
So you're going to go to the assignment and then click edit and then change your point values and then close it out. And then you'll be back to the list of students in that assignment. And then you do it there.
All right. If I have trouble, I'll send you an email.
Perfect. No problem.
Thank you.
Right.
Christy,
Yo.
for the Jamboard, what do you have to share that with them for them to be able to like put anything on there?
Yes.
So you just share the link with them, or you share it through their like?
Well, it depends. Are you doing it while you're doing a Google Meet?
Yeah.
So when you create it in Google Meet, it opens up and it asks if you want to share it with the kids, and it defaults to view.
Okay.
And then
So
you want to make sure you give it to edit, and then it'll post the link in the chat for everybody.
So there's no way that you can make the questions ahead of time?
Yeah, I do mine ahead of time. When you open it, when it says, when you click on the Jamboard in Google Meet, it lets you either open a new one or click one you already made. And once you click one you already made, it's going to tell you that the people in there need access.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
Bye.
Hey guys, I'm here. I have my video off because my computer was not happy with me.